Alright, hello. Welcome to another episode of revisiting my top 10 primary weapons from 2024. Today we're taking a look at a weapon that was originally an honorable mention, but if I redid the list today, it would definitely be in my top 10 list, and I don't know which number it will be, but it will be probably something like number 7 to number 6. Now, this weapon is by far the hardest hitting AoE weapon in the game. Not the best AoE weapon in the game, mind you, but by far the hardest hitting. The damage per bullet on the Envoy is ridiculous, and yes, it is obviously the Envoy. So this weapon, it used to be good. Okay, so it used to be good, really good. Tone Core was a bit better than this weapon for multiple reasons, like more damage per shot and more AoE capabilities because it would run out of ammo less frequently. It was also way easier and way more consistent with its DPS. There was some stuff about the Envoy that were better, but overall Tone Core was just a better weapon. Now things have changed because they made an update called Jade Shadows, and in Jade Shadows, well, they completely they turned things upside down with the game a bit. But one of the things they did is that they nerfed Slash and they buffed Blast immensely, and the Blast procs buffs alongside the Slash procs nerf absolutely broke the Envoy. And why did they break the Envoy exactly? Because if we go to this build, we will notice that this build has 0 elemental modes, not even 1. It has exactly 0 elemental modes, and yet we have Blast. And we have Blast because the Valence bonus is heat, and the weapon innately is cold. And because the weapon innately is cold, just having Valence bonus on heat, this gives you Blast. And the higher the Valence bonus, the higher the base damage of the weapon. And this weapon gets an absurd amount of base damage, over 1,000 base damage. So the Blast procs with 1,000 base damage, this much crit damage, this much crit chance, they are hitting ridiculously hard. So we're gonna see that, but before we see that, I will showcase my best build. So this is it. I have a Riven mode that gives me reload speed and a bit more critical damage. The reload speed is a nice quality of life because by default this weapon does have a very lengthy 4-second reload, so you can see why I would like to have reload speed on my Riven mode. But if you don't have a Riven mode, you obviously can go for something like Prime Firestorm in this spot because, you know, it gives this weapon 11.4 meters of range. Sorry, 11.5 meters of range, even worse. So yeah, it is pretty wild. But the wildest part about the weapon is obviously the initial damage it does. So let's go and showcase that on a normal Void survival. I have 3 builds for you today on this weapon, and all 3 of them work in specific circumstances that make the weapon completely broken. So yeah, the Envoy, in case you don't know, it was also the most the weapon with the most kills in 2024. And that wasn't due to some kind of bug, because I'm sure a lot of people saw it and they were like, that is weird. Because they would expect something like the Ogres, they would expect something like the Torrid, they would expect some other weapon. Definitely not the Envoy. And yet here we are, like, Envoy on top, and it's like, how did this happen? Well, I can tell you how it happened. You know how the Asian community really likes doing endless survival missions and all that? Yeah, well, the most popular weapon for doing those endless survivals and staying forever was the Envoy. So they racked up kills on kills per minute like crazy with this weapon, having a Nova in a full squad, priming enemies and getting them to you, and then those enemies would explode, dealing blast procs and going absolutely crazy. So Eclipse is about to run out now, so we will not have any type of buffs buffing this weapon. And we can see that we have, you know, pretty good stuff here. Like, you might see the damage, you might be like, okay, that's not too great, but if an enemy dies from the blast proc, the resulting blast proc is gonna be really good, and overall the base damage of it is also really nice. So you find a group of enemies, you shoot it, everyone dies, and if you have any type of damage buffing, it becomes even more crazy. So we're gonna activate Eclipse again. We see 1.3 million blast proc with Eclipse, which isn't the best choice, obviously. But with this weapon, you can see blast procs up to like 60 and 70 million very easily when you have the correct build set up. Some Rhino, some Nova, something like that. You will see some crazy numbers from this weapon. And those are enough to one-shot pretty much anything. Level cap enemies have 40 million health, so 70 million blast proc. It does their full health completely from 100 to 0. So this is definitely a weapon of all time. And it's, yeah. It's pretty powerful. It also has this neat mechanic that I don't know if many people know about if you haven't tried this weapon, but you can control the missile, and it makes a funny noise when you actually target an enemy with it. So yeah, I really love using this weapon, and it can also help that if you actually miss a shot, you can like aim at the enemy and it will redirect me there. The mechanics of this weapon are just so fun. This is by far the most fun AoE explosive weapon for me in the entire game. But the immense high damage per shot as well is pushing it over the edge for sure. So yeah, this is my favorite build to run, and especially with Wisp that you have the extra fire rate, and with my Riven mode that I have the extra reload speed. It feels really nice to just hold down the left trigger, left mouse trigger, and just go. One thing that I find weird with the Envoy is how it doesn't benefit from semi-rifle cannonade, but it's not that big of a deal, to be honest. It's just a really fun weapon to use overall, if I'm being honest. And because it's fun and because it's also that powerful, it is one of my top used weapons in the game for sure. So it definitely did deserve an honorable mention on the original video. But if I were to redo the video, I would probably put it within the top 10. Like, this is what Tonecore was when the original video was happening, but way stronger. It has a lot of utility, it has great AoE damage, great range on the AoE with a maximum of 11 meters and a base of 8. It's absolutely godlike. Just some really crazy stuff. And yeah, you pick this weapon with a Mirage, you pick this weapon with a Siren, with whatever broken DPS weapon platforms Warframe you want to pick it, and it becomes a menace for sure. So Acolyte's here just in time. I do expect it to just disappear from the face of the earth, but we'll see. I didn't get direct hits. It's fine. Usually when the Acolyte spawns near enemies, like if it spawned here and I had enemies next to it, it does get one-shot because the enemies next to it will do the blast procs, and the blast procs one-shot it because of the base damage being so high. Yeah. This build is pretty much the standard, and it will be extremely potent at killing most of the enemies you're gonna find. Like, it's really strong. So let's go to the second build. And for the second build, I will also swap to the Wisp with the status chance swords because they will help a lot. The status chance is enough, even at this low percentage, because this weapon has quite a lot of multi-shot, so you're guaranteed at least one blast proc every time you shoot at an enemy, but still, having more status chance does help a lot. And the other Wisp also provides with a ton of crit chance, so I would much rather pick her than showcase that. So in case you don't know about the other Wisp, she has Critical Surge, a Roar, and these 5 Talfor's primary status chance swords. This is by far the strongest Wisp build you can go for buffing primary weapons, and I know a lot of people will say like, oh, but there are the purple shards for primary electricity. No, not even close. Like, they don't even stand a chance compared to this. It is very rare that I will find a weapon performing better with those than with this. And it has to be like very specific, like you have a status chance beam weapon that you can build for electricity and it already has immensely high crit and status. So one example and one weapon that did perform better was the Quanta Vandal. But the Quanta Vandal is like its own thing. I don't think there is any other weapon like it, and it's by far the strongest beam weapon for me in the game. Regardless of that, this build, with this Wisp build, we have 88% status chance now, so we're really cooking with this blast proc chance, and then we have the slash procs from Hunter Munitions, and I mean, I know a lot of people might think like, oh, why not internal bleeding, right? Internal bleeding works on this weapon, but it works only on the target you hit directly. The target you hit directly with this weapon does get a slash proc with internal bleeding, but the rest of the targets that get hit by the explosion do not get the slash proc from it. It's not the same as Ivara's Artemis bow with concentrated arrow, so it has quite a big difference having Hunter Munitions here. Instead, it's gonna be better. So showcasing the same exact mission, Ani on the Void. In case you don't know, why not Mot? Mot can give you nullifiers, but Ani does not have nullifiers. It is a big reason to choose Ani over Mot. And I mean, you'll be like, oh, but the 20 enemy levels, yeah, they don't really do anything. Like, they genuinely don't do much. So we're not gonna have the crit chance or anything. I'll just start normally, so you can see on its own, like, the initial damage doesn't seem great, but then the blast procs happen and you're like, holy shit, you know? Like, damn! Damn! We don't even have any buff running right now. This is just the red shards giving us more blast procs. So now I'm gonna run my buffs. Yeah. It is ridiculous, yes. It is completely stupid. What is that? Holy shit. You know? Because you hit them, they get a slash proc for 6 million, and then they get another blast proc for 6 million, and they all just die. God damn. Yeah. It's so good. It's genuinely so good. This is an insane AoE weapon. The only AoE weapon that is better than this one is the weapon that I put on the number 4 list, which was the Kuva Ogres on the video. And I will showcase that, although I don't think the build's changed since then. Like at all. There is some adhesive blast shenanigans for arbitrations, but I don't really use them. I don't really think it's worth it. But that's about it. This weapon just became kinda Thanos overnight on Jade Shadows. It's really wild how much this got buffed. And yeah, when paired with this Wisp build for the extra crit chance and status chance, you get crazy damage. This oh my god. Beautiful weapon. Holy shits. And yeah, you see like 32 million blast procs on these guys very easily with just this. Not even anyone to help me out with providing Nova for example, for an extra 100% damage or anything like that. It's just a really insanely strong weapon. Oh, I wonder who's invading. Good luck. Alright. Yep. Yep. Holy, okay. That is... God damn. I love this weapon. It's so fun as well. Like even if you like take your time getting the missiles, you know, you get the damage. It doesn't actually increase your damage, but it is still funny. And sometimes you can also like kind of bug out and run circles around the target when you do this. I don't know if I can make it, but if I could, that would be really funny. Well, yeah. I don't know, I'm kind of just trolling and I'm really close to 200 kpm still. It's really funny. On Wisp as well, not a crazy ass Warframe that can speed enemies up or like get crazy amounts of damage. I mean, the build itself does provide insane amounts of damage with all the shenanigans, but this is still so damn powerful. Holy shit! And honestly, I am running Arcane Acceleration on this build. I could run Arcane Rise alongside with Arcane Rage, and it could be so much better. Because Arcane Rage, I don't think I can even proc it. It's on headshot, so I would definitely need Arcane Rise here. Like yeah, I literally cannot proc it. Hold up. Let's try. No, I give up. Whatever. Anyways, Vallis. No bleed procs? Whatever. If I got the bleed proc, she would die in one hit. Who cares? This is a beautiful weapon. So, yeah. If you wanna maximize this weapon, so imagine this build doesn't even have my Riven mode. I can easily remove a mod and get my Riven mode in and make this even stronger. Because obviously Prime Firestorm, it is nice to have, but it's not needed on this build at all. The blast procs have more than enough AoE for you, and it just completely destroys them. So yeah, this is kind of maximized already, but if I wanted to maximize it for me personally even further, if I wanted to take it like even further, I would probably keep this just in case, or just change it out for Arcane Rise. Or, you know, change Arcane Acceleration for Arcane Rise and then figure out another Arcane. Probably Bellicose for the extra strength. Something anyway to help me out. Maybe Primary Charger and Zenistar could also work. But yeah, adding the base damage here through Arcane Rise would have given me so much damage. And then I could also replace this with the Riven mode. And then boom, now we would have 11.1x, and that would be even more damage. Like way more. So yeah, it could get even crazier than this, for sure, but it doesn't really need to. One last build that I will show though is this, because one of my friends at DE, and I know this sounds sarcastic as fuck, but who put multiplicative CO on this weapon, bro? Who did this? Genuinely, who put multi-CO on this weapon? The funniest part is that when multiplicative IQD was a thing, this weapon had also multiplicative IQD, so it could red crit for 300 million damage on headshots with this. It can still do a ton of damage on headshots, and we're gonna see that, don't worry, but not the 300 million kind of damage we would see on the demo, like before. But I do want to showcase this, because this is probably the only AoE weapon that is strictly AoE, by the way, because you can say, oh, but Tenet Tetra and all that. Yes, I know, but count strictly AoE weapons. What other weapon that is mainly AoE have you seen that destroys, like, pre-nerfed demos? Because obviously demos now don't have attenuation, they die way easier, but pre-nerfed demos, you had an AoE, you couldn't do anything, bro. Like, holy. And also, this is really funny with Wisp, because you can actually use Spectral Observation with this weapon and get away with it. In case you don't know, when the Wisp shoots in the air with her passive, she becomes visible. But because you can aim with this weapon and delay the projectile speed, you turn invisible again before you land, thus benefiting from Spectral Observation. Isn't it great? So yeah, we need our headshots. Anyway, let's get those real quick. Okay, because we are running primary deadhead on this. It's not easy to get headshots, but the arcane definitely helps. There we go. Now that we have deadhead sacks, we can go to work. I also forget about the passive. I don't need to actually reload the gun. I just need to like swap it and it should be fine. But yeah, whatever. Anyway, let me just headshot this guy and then just run to the demo so you can see the one shots. It's fine, we lost the buff, but no big deal. 51 million damage. 51 million. Yeah. And I didn't actually abuse Spectral Serration as well, so that was 15.1 million without Spectral Serration. So, you know, let's have Spectral Serration this time and see where we get, what kind of number we get, because I think that would be even funnier. I needed to press my second ability. So let me upkeep Deadhead. As you can see, once you have Deadhead, it's not really that hard to upkeep it. You kind of just one-shot them, so as long as you aim for head, then yeah, you're good. Oh, it's my favorite guy. 235 million. Now that's more like it. Who put multiplicative CO on this weapon? Who did this? Whoever you are, thank you. I love you. Thank you so much. This is really fun. You can actually use the Envoy as a DPS gun for demos. And an AoE at the same time. Because, you know, you will still need to headshot, sure, but at the end of the day, it has the AoE and it has the blast proc, so who cares? It will do the damage, you know? So yeah, you can definitely just rock this out and take it to a disruption mission. And it works. It's a work of art. This weapon is amazing. Like the whole thing about this weapon, the whole shenanigans, like the fact that it looks like a briefcase, the fact that it auto reloads for you, the fact that it has such high base damage per bullet, the aiming mechanic where you actually have to do the tracking game with your missiles, like you can track the enemies and you have an automatic missile, a homing missile, sorry, and like everything about it is just so fun, and the fact that it works so well as well, it takes the cake. This is one of the best weapons in the game, for sure. And if I redid my list, it would be probably number 6 or number 5 spot. I don't know if I would put this above the Torrid, because the Torrid, you know, I can't deny that it's strong as fuck. It was on my number 5 spot, but damn, this weapon is crazy strong. This is a crazy strong weapon, and I really love it. I really love how capable it is. I really love its aesthetics and its mechanics and everything. It's just an amazing weapon. So next video will be about the Trumna, which got upgraded to a Trumna Prime, so be on the lookout for that. But until then, thank you very much for watching another video of mine, and I will see you on the next video.